Welcome back to Above Inspirations. Last week we've touched on the significance of studying the practical elements of successful individuals' journeys, their motivations, and success stories. When it comes to success, they serve as the compass that directs our actions, the roadmap to our dreams, and the lighthouse that keeps us focused amidst life's storms. Albert Einstein once said, "If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things." Goals are where dreams meet reality, and it's essential to set them wisely. In order to know where you're headed, you must be aware of your own personal goals. Now, it's not just about dreaming big, though that's certainly important. It's about breaking those grand aspirations into actionable, bite-sized pieces. By doing this, we turn the colossal into the manageable, the overwhelming into the achievable. The world's greatest achievers have been those who have always stayed focused on their goals and have been consistent in their efforts. Here's the kicker: goal setting isn't just about crafting an elaborate to-do list. It's about making them smart. Smart goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. They are the gold standard of goal setting because they provide a robust framework to make our dreams a reality. Think about it this way. Instead of saying, "I want to be a better doctor," you say, "I will take 3 continuing education courses this year to enhance my medical skills." Suddenly, you have a concrete goal with a clear action plan. A goal without a plan is just a wish. The pursuit of wealth and being recognized as one of the richest individuals can be a compelling goal for many. However, it's crucial to consider the deeper motivations behind this desire and what achieving such a goal truly means for one's life. Here's a perspective on this. 1. Material success versus quality of life. Being the richest person in your neighborhood or on a list of the wealthiest individuals might come with material privileges, but it doesn't guarantee a higher quality of life. It's essential to evaluate whether the pursuit of wealth is aligned with your personal values and if it genuinely contributes to your happiness and well-being. In essence, money is a tool that can be used to manifest your existing traits and values. How you choose to utilize it and the priorities you set will determine whether it enhances your life and the lives of others or leads to unintended consequences. Self-reflection, self-awareness, and a balanced approach to wealth can help you make the most of the resources you have while staying true to your core values and character. Money can magnify existing traits and behaviors. If someone is naturally generous and compassionate, they might use their wealth to contribute to charitable causes and help those in need. Conversely, if someone has a propensity for excessive spending or risky behavior, having more money can lead to increased indulgence in those behaviors. Money management and financial responsibility play a crucial role. How one manages and allocates their wealth is often more important than the mere possession of it. Individuals who prioritize saving, investing, and making thoughtful financial decisions tend to have more sustainable and secure financial futures. Money can provide the means to support one's values and passions. If you value education, you might use your wealth to fund scholarships or educational initiatives. If you value adventure, you might travel extensively. Money can be a tool for aligning your life with your values. Happiness and fulfillment. Research suggests that beyond a certain income threshold, additional money does not significantly increase happiness. Do you know, as of 2023, how much money do you need to make a year to be part of world's top 1%? Are you ready to hear that number? That's $32,000. If you want to feel rich, just count the things you have that money can't buy, tells the proverb. Earn nicely, spend wisely, and you will live happily. A story tells that a Pentecostal preacher working as a stockboy at Home Depot got his prayers answered when he hit the $31 million Texas jackpot in 1997. At first, life was good, with Billy Bob reportedly quitting his job, traveling to Hawaii, and buying a ranch, 6 other homes, and new cars. He donated 480 turkeys to the poor, according to Time. But like many others who win the lottery, he just couldn't say no when people asked for a handout. He also ran into financial trouble with a company that gave lottery winners lump sums in exchange for their annual checks, but it left him with far less than what he'd won. Media reports from the time say he eventually divorced and died by suicide. Shortly before his death, he told a financial advisor that winning the lottery is the worst thing that ever happened to me. Another story tells that before they won a $2.76 million lottery jackpot in 2005, Laura and Roger Griffiths of England reportedly never argued. Then they won and bought a $1 million barn-converted house and a Porsche, not to mention luxurious trips to Dubai, Monaco, and New York City. Media stories say their fortune ended in 2010 when a freak fire gutted their house, which was underinsured, forcing them to shell out for repairs and 7 months of temporary accommodations. Shortly after, there were claims that Roger drove away in the Porsche after Lara confronted him over emails suggesting that he was interested in another woman. That ended their 14-year marriage. William Bud Post won $16.2 million in the Pennsylvania lottery in 1988, but he was $1 million in debt within a year. "I wish it never happened," Post said. "It was totally a nightmare." A former girlfriend successfully sued him for a third of his winnings, and his brother was arrested for allegedly hiring a hitman to kill him in the hopes he'd inherit a share of the winnings. After sinking money into family businesses, Post sank into debt and spent time in jail for firing a gun over the head of a bill collector. "I was much happier when I was broke," he said, the Washington Post reported. Bud lived quietly on $450 a month and food stamps until his death in 2006. In 2004, Sharon Tirabassi, a single mother who had been on welfare, cashed a check from the Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corp. For more than $10 million Canadian dollars, she spent her winnings on a big house, fancy cars, designer clothes, lavish parties, exotic trips, handouts to family, loans to friends, and in less than a decade she was back, riding the bus, working part-time, and living in a rented house. "All of that other stuff was fun in the beginning, now it's like, back to life," she told the Hamilton Spectator. Luckily, Tirabassi put some of her windfall in trusts for her 6 children, who would be able to claim the money when they turned 26. Evelyn Adams gambled it all away in Atlantic City. Against all odds, Adams won the lottery twice, once in 1985 and again in 1986. The New Jersey native won $5.4 million, but AskMen.com reports that she gambled it away in Atlantic City. Adams also told the New York Times in 1993 that the publicity she received led to a bombardment of requests for financial assistance. Against all odds, Adams won the lottery twice, once in 1985 and again in 1986. The New Jersey native won $5.4 million, but AskMen.com reports that she gambled it away in Atlantic City. Adams also told the New York Times in 1993 that the publicity she received led to a bombardment of requests for financial assistance. "I was known," she said, "and I couldn't go anywhere without being recognized." Suzanne Mullins won $4.2 million in the Virginia Lotto in 1993. She split the yearly payments 3 ways with her husband and daughter, leaving Mullins with about $47,000 a year. She quickly found herself in debt. Her lawyer said she shelled out $1 million for her uninsured son-in-law's medical bills. "It's been a hard road," Mullins' lawyer Michael Hart told the Associated Press in 2004. "It's not been jet plane trips to the Bahamas." She used future payouts to take out a $200,000 loan with a company that served a specific market, lottery winners who need their money faster. Mullins later switched to a lump sum payout but never paid back the debt. The loan company filed suit and won a $154,000 settlement that was all but worthless. Mullins had no assets. Here is another shocking story. Suzanne Mullins won $4.2 million in the Virginia Lotto in 1993. She split the yearly payments 3 ways with her husband and daughter, leaving Mullins with about $47,000 a year. She quickly found herself in debt. Her lawyer said she shelled out $1 million for her uninsured son-in-law's medical bills. "It's been a hard road," Mullins' lawyer Michael Hart told the Associated Press in 2004. "It's not been jet plane trips to the Bahamas." She used future payouts to take out a $200,000 loan with a company that served a specific market, lottery winners who need their money faster. Mullins later switched to a lump sum payout, but never paid back the debt. The loan company filed suit and won a $154,000 settlement that was all but worthless. Mullins had no assets. Michael Carroll was just 19 when he won Britain's £9.7 million, $15 million jackpot in 2002, the Daily Mail reports. But according to media reports from the time, an alleged penchant for crack, parties, prostitutes, and cars put him back at square one in 5 years. Last we heard, the former garbageman was hoping to get his old job back. In 2002, Andrew Jackson Whitaker Jr., a building contractor in West Virginia, walked away with $114 million after taxes on a $315 million multi-state Powerball draw. That was just about his last stroke of good fortune. Thieves ran off with $545,000 that Whitaker had stashed in his car in 2003. And he lost $200,000 the same way a year later. He was also sued by Caesars Atlantic City, which said Whitaker had bounced $1.5 million in checks. Within 4 years, his fortune was reportedly gone. In 1989, Willie won a $3.1 million jackpot in the Michigan lottery. 2 years later, Hurt was divorced, lost custody of his children, and was charged with attempted murder, and according to media reports, picked up a crack cocaine addiction. Stories from the time say the habit sucked away his entire fortune. In 1989, Willie won a $3.1 million jackpot in the Michigan lottery. 2 years later, Hurt was divorced, lost custody of his children, and was charged with attempted murder, and according to media reports, picked up a crack cocaine addiction. Stories from the time say the habit sucked away his entire fortune. Welsh-born Luke Pittard won a £1.3 million jackpot, $1.9 million, in 2006, but spent almost all of it on a trip to the Canary Islands, a wedding, and a house. A year and a half later, Pittard was forced to return to his job at McDonald's. They all think I'm a bit mad, but I tell them there's more to life than money, Pittard told The Telegraph in 2008. I loved working at McDonald's before I became a millionaire, and I'm really enjoying being back there again. Alex and Rhoda Toth hit the $13 million jackpot in Florida in 1990. Within 15 years, they were destitute. According to the Tampa Bay Times, the couple spent heavily on a 3-month trip to Las Vegas, which included stays in a $1,000 a night penthouse suite at the Mirage. Back home, they bought 10 acres of land. The two were eventually accused of tax evasion by the IRS. After it was discovered, they filed for bankruptcy protections and falsely reported gambling losses. At the time of their indictment, they were said to owe the IRS $2.5 million. Alex died before his case went to trial. Rhoda served 2 years in prison. What a shame learning about lottery winners who lost it all. When it comes to money and saving, investing, self-awareness and an understanding of one's relationship with money are essential for making informed financial decisions. How an individual perceives and relates to money can have a significant impact on their financial behavior and well-being. The psychological aspect of money, which includes beliefs, attitudes, and emotions related to finances, plays a crucial role in how people manage their money. As mentioned, some individuals may have deep-rooted beliefs about money based on their upbringing and past experiences. These beliefs can have a powerful influence on their financial habits and decisions. For example, individuals who grew up in financially challenging situations or poor households may carry beliefs that money is scarce or evil, and that they should spend it quickly when they have it. They might associate money with negative emotions or problems, which can lead to impulsive spending or an inability to save. Recognizing and addressing these psychological issues is a fundamental step toward improving one's financial situation. This might involve seeking professional help might be needed. In cases where psychological issues significantly impact financial behavior, consulting with a therapist or financial counselor can be beneficial. A seasoned psychotherapist may help you to understand about personal finance, budgeting, and saving or traumas related to financial issues. Ultimately, addressing the psychological aspects of money is an important part of achieving financial stability and well-being. It's a journey that requires self-awareness, self-compassion, and a commitment to personal growth in the realm of personal finance. Self-awareness is crucial. An individual's understanding of their relationship with money is essential. Some individuals can never save since they grew up in poor families. Money is being associated with evil that always causes troubles. As soon as they get money, they try to overspend and get rid of it. This is a psychological issue rather than spending problem. It's crucial to be aware of how money influences your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Self-awareness can help you make conscious choices about how you use your financial resources. Balance and moderation. Extremes in any direction, whether frugality or extravagance, can have negative consequences. Striking a balance that aligns with your values and long-term goals is often the key to a healthy relationship with money. In essence, Money is a tool that can be used to manifest your existing traits and values. How you choose to utilize it and the priorities you set will determine whether it enhances your life and the lives of others or leads to unintended consequences. Self-reflection, self-awareness, and a balanced approach to wealth can help you make the most of the resources you have while staying true to your core values and character. Suzanne Mullins won $4.2 million in the Virginia Lotto in 1993. She split the yearly payments 3 ways with her husband and daughter, leaving Mullins with about $47,000 a year. She quickly found herself in debt. Her lawyer said she shelled out $1 million for her uninsured son-in-law's medical bills. "It's been a hard road," Mullins's lawyer Michael Hart told the Associated Press in 2004. "It's not been jet plane trips to the Bahamas." She used future payouts to take out a $200,000 loan with a company that served a specific market, lottery winners who need their money faster. Mullins later switched to a lump sum payout, but never paid back the debt. The loan company filed suit and won a $154,000 settlement that was all but worthless. Mullins had no assets. Here is another shocking story. Suzanne Mullins won $4.2 million in the Virginia Lotto in 1993. She split the yearly payments 3 ways with her husband and daughter, leaving Mullins with about $47,000 a year. She quickly found herself in debt. Her lawyer said she shelled out $1 million for her uninsured son-in-law's medical bills. "It's been a hard road," Mullins' lawyer Michael Hart told the Associated Press in 2004. "It's not been jet plane trips to the Bahamas." She used future payouts to take out a $200,000 loan with a company that served a specific market, lottery winners who need their money faster. Mullins later switched to a lump sum payout but never paid back the debt. The loan company filed suit and won a $154,000 settlement that was all but worthless. Mullins had no assets. Michael Carroll was just 19 when he won Britain's £9.7 million, $15 million jackpot in 2002, the Daily Mail reports. But according to media reports from the time, an alleged penchant for crack, parties, prostitutes, and cars put him back at square one in 5 years. Last we heard, the former garbage man was hoping to get his old job back. In 2002, Andrew Jackson Whitaker, Jr., a building contractor in West Virginia, walked away with $114 million after taxes on a $315 million multi-state Powerball draw. That was just about his last stroke of good fortune. Thieves ran off with $545,000 that Whitaker had stashed in his car in 2003. And he lost $200,000 the same way a year later. He was also sued by Caesars Atlantic City, which said Whitaker had bounced $1.5 million in checks. Within 4 years, his fortune was reportedly gone. In 1989, Willie won a $3.1 million jackpot in the Michigan lottery. 2 years later, Hurt was divorced, lost custody of his children, and was charged with attempted murder, and according to media reports, picked up a crack cocaine addiction. Stories from the time say the habit sucked away his entire fortune. In 1989, Willie won a $3.1 million jackpot in the Michigan lottery. 2 years later, Hurt was divorced, lost custody of his children, and was charged with attempted murder, and according to media reports, picked up a crack cocaine addiction. Stories from the time say the habit sucked away his entire fortune. Welsh-born Luke Pittard won a £1.3 million jackpot, $1.9 million, in 2006, but spent almost all of it on a trip to the Canary Islands, a wedding, and a house. A year and a half later, Pittard was forced to return to his job at McDonald's. "They all think I'm a bit mad, but I tell them there's more to life than money," Pittard told The Telegraph in 2008. "I loved working at McDonald's before I became a millionaire, and I'm really enjoying being back there again." Alex and Rhoda Toth hit the $13 million jackpot in Florida in 1990. Within 15 years, they were destitute. According to the Tampa Bay Times, the couple spent heavily on a 3-month trip to Las Vegas, which included stays in a $1,000 a night penthouse suite at the Mirage. Back home, they bought 10 acres of land. The two were eventually accused of tax evasion by the IRS after it was discovered they filed for bankruptcy protections and falsely reported gambling losses. At the time of their indictment, they were said to owe the IRS $2.5 million. Alex died before his case went to trial. Rhoda served 2 years in prison. What a shame learning about lottery winners who lost it all. Money can magnify existing traits and behaviors. If someone is naturally generous and compassionate, they might use their wealth to contribute to charitable causes and help those in need. Conversely, if someone has a propensity for excessive spending or risky behavior, having more money can lead to increased indulgence in those behaviors. Money management and financial responsibility play a crucial role. How one manages and allocates their wealth is often more important than the mere possession of it. Individuals who prioritize saving, investing, and making thoughtful financial decisions tend to have more sustainable and secure financial futures. Money can provide the means to support one's values and passions. If you value education, you might use your wealth to fund scholarships or educational initiatives. If you value adventure, you might travel extensively. Money can be a tool for aligning your life with your values. Happiness and fulfillment. Research suggests that beyond a certain income threshold, additional money does not significantly increase happiness. Do you know, as of 2023, how much money do you need to make a year to be part of world's top 1%? Are you ready to hear that number? That's $32,000. If you want to feel rich, just count the things you have that money can't buy. Tells the proverb, earn nicely, spend wisely, and you will live happily. A story tells that a Pentecostal preacher working as a stockboy at Home Depot got his prayers answered when he hit the $31 million Texas jackpot in 1997. At first, life was good, with Billy Bob reportedly quitting his job, traveling to Hawaii, and buying a ranch, 6 other homes, and new cars. He donated 480 turkeys to the poor, according to Time. But like many others who win the lottery, he just couldn't say no when people asked for a handout. He also ran into financial trouble with a company that gave lottery winners lump sums in exchange for their annual checks, but it left him with far less than what he'd won. Media reports from the time say he eventually divorced and died by suicide. Shortly before his death, he told a financial advisor that, "Winning the lottery is the worst thing that ever happened to me." Another story tells that before they won a $2.76 million lottery jackpot in 2005, Lara and Roger Griffiths of England reportedly never argued. Then they won and bought a $1 million barn-converted house and a Porsche, not to mention luxurious trips to Dubai, Monaco, and New York City. Media stories say their fortune ended in 2010 when a freak fire gutted their house, which was underinsured, forcing them to shell out for repairs and 7 months of temporary accommodations. Shortly after, there were claims that Roger drove away in the Porsche after Lara confronted him over emails, suggesting that he was interested in another woman. That ended their 14-year marriage. William Budd Post won $16.2 million in the Pennsylvania lottery in 1988, but he was $1 million in debt within a year. "I wish it never happened," Post said. "It was totally a nightmare." A former girlfriend successfully sued him for a third of his winnings, and his brother was arrested for allegedly hiring a hitman to kill him in the hopes he'd inherit a share of the winnings. After sinking money into family businesses, Post sank into debt and spent time in jail for firing a gun over the head of a bill collector. "I was much happier when I was broke," he said, the Washington Post reported. Budd lived quietly on $450 a month and food stamps until his death in 2006. In 2004, Sharon Tirabassi, a single mother who had been on welfare, cashed a check from the Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corp. For more than $10 million Canadian dollars. She spent her winnings on a big house, fancy cars, designer clothes, lavish parties, exotic trips, handouts to family, loans to friends, and in less than a decade she was back, riding the bus, working part-time, and living in a rented house. "All of that other stuff was fun in the beginning, now it's like back to life," she told the Hamilton Spectator. Luckily, Tirabassi put some of her windfall in trusts for her 6 children, who would be able to claim the money when they turned 26. Evelyn Adams gambled it all away in Atlantic City. Against all odds, Adams won the lottery twice, once in 1985 and again in 1986. The New Jersey native won $5.4 million, but AskMen.com reports that she gambled it away in Atlantic City. Adams also told the New York Times in 1993 that the publicity she received led to a bombardment of requests for financial assistance. Against all odds, Adams won the lottery twice, once in 1985 and again in 1986. The New Jersey native won $5.4 million, but AskMen.com reports that she gambled it away in Atlantic City. Adams also told the New York Times in 1993 that the publicity she received led to a bombardment of requests for financial assistance. "I was known," she said, "and I couldn't go anywhere." When it comes to money and saving investing, self-awareness and an understanding of one's relationship with money are essential for making informed financial decisions. How an individual perceives and relates to money can have a significant impact on their financial behavior and well-being. The psychological aspect of money, which includes beliefs, attitudes, and emotions related to finances, plays a crucial role in how people manage their money. As mentioned, some individuals may have deep-rooted beliefs about money based on their upbringing and past experiences. These beliefs can have a powerful influence on their financial habits and decisions. For example, individuals who grew up in financially challenging situations or poor households may carry beliefs that money is scarce or evil and that they should spend it quickly when they have it. They might associate money with negative emotions or problems, which can lead to impulsive spending or an inability to save. Recognizing and addressing these psychological issues is a fundamental step toward improving one's financial situation. This might involve seeking professional help might be needed. In cases where psychological issues significantly impact financial behavior, consulting with a therapist or financial counselor can be beneficial. A seasoned psychotherapist may help you to understand about personal finance, budgeting, and saving or traumas related to financial issues. Ultimately, addressing the psychological aspects of money is an important part of achieving financial stability and well-being. It's a journey that requires self-awareness, self-compassion, and a commitment to personal growth in the realm of personal finance. Self-awareness is crucial. An individual's understanding of their relationship with money is essential. Some individuals can never save since they grew up in poor families. Money is being associated with evil that always causes troubles. As soon as they get money, they try to overspend and get rid of it. This is a psychological issue rather than spending problem. It's crucial to be aware of how money influences your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Self-awareness can help you make conscious choices about how you use your financial resources. Balance and moderation. Extremes in any direction, whether frugality or extravagance, can have negative consequences. Striking a balance that aligns with your values and long-term goals is often the key to a healthy relationship with money. In essence, money is a tool that can be used to manifest your existing traits and values. How you choose to utilize it and the priorities you set will determine whether it enhances your life and the lives of others or leads to unintended consequences. Self-reflection, self-awareness, and a balanced approach to wealth can help you make the most of the resources you have while staying true to your core values and character. Now let's talk about impact and fulfillment. Instead of merely accumulating wealth for the sake of it, consider how your success can positively impact the lives of others and bring you a sense of fulfillment. Imagine you wake up and can't wait to be involved and change people's lives. Many of the world's most successful and wealthy individuals find purpose and joy in giving back to society, supporting causes they are passionate about, and making a difference. Finding success starts with finding your purpose. In 1995, Bob Buford wrote the best-selling book Halftime, which popularized the concept of moving from success to significance in the second half of life. Buford realized that many business people work their whole lives to achieve material success, only to find their happiness and sense of purpose wanting when that success comes. And he rightly encouraged those people to seek out meaning and impact in their later years. As you get started thinking about a deeper vision for significant success, ask yourself a few questions. What is the core purpose of my work and the ways in which it makes the world better? And how can I lean into that purpose or craft my day-to-day work to emphasize it? Who are the key relationships in my life, both inside and outside of work, and how can I deepen and enrich them? Who am I serving in my work and outside of it, and what more can I do at work, at home, and in my community to serve others? How am I becoming better each day? How can I pursue meaningful craft in my personal or professional life? Think about the legacy you want to leave behind. Wealth in itself is fleeting. Consider what you want to be remembered for, whether it's your contributions to your community, your field of expertise, or your impact on future generations. Personal growth and fulfillment. True success goes beyond financial gains. It involves personal growth, self-discovery, and achieving goals that resonate with your passions and values. Pursuing meaningful goals that align with your authentic self can lead to a more fulfilling life. Relationships and happiness. The pursuit of wealth should not come at the cost of meaningful relationships and happiness. Prioritize the people and experiences that bring joy and contentment to your life, as these are often more valuable than material possessions. In summary, while striving to be the richest person in your neighborhood or on a list of wealthy individuals can be a valid goal, it's essential to examine your motivations and consider the broader impact on your life and the lives of others. Achieving wealth is a means to an end, and the ultimate goal should be a fulfilling, balanced, and purposeful life that extends beyond monetary success. Indeed, the concept of prioritizing time over money has profound implications for our well-being, relationships, and overall life satisfaction. As a best-selling author, I can't stress enough the importance of this shift in mindset. Let's delve a little deeper into these findings. 1. Higher levels of happiness. The pursuit of happiness is a universal quest. People often think that accumulating wealth is the key to happiness, but this research underscores the importance of time. Valuing time more than money is shown to boost happiness significantly. It's a powerful reminder that happiness isn't solely linked to material wealth. Instead, it's about the experiences and moments that enrich our lives. 2. Better social connections. In our increasingly busy and digitally connected world, we sometimes forget the value of face-to-face social interactions. Prioritizing time encourages us to invest in our social relationships. Even small, fleeting interactions can have a substantial impact on reducing stress and increasing happiness. This highlights the significance of genuine connections with others in our lives. 3. Healthier relationships. The findings on how time-focused individuals have happier spouses are fascinating. It shows that when we allocate our resources wisely, such as investing in time-saving services to create more quality time with loved ones, our relationships thrive. It's a reminder that nurturing our connections with those we care about can lead to more fulfilling and harmonious relationships. 4. Greater job satisfaction. The relationship between valuing time and job satisfaction is an interesting one. It emphasizes that we shouldn't be stuck in careers solely for monetary gain. Those who prioritize time tend to make more income while enjoying their work. This is a testament to the idea that doing what you love can lead to not only financial success, but also greater personal fulfillment. It's a reminder that a fulfilling career can be a source of happiness, not just a paycheck. In a world that often pushes us to chase after money and material success, these insights remind us to step back and consider what truly matters. It's not about having more money. It's about having more time to spend with the people we love and doing the things that bring us joy. As we continue to explore this topic, we'll uncover practical strategies for shifting our mindset and finding the right balance between time and money. Stay tuned for more insights on this transformative journey. And there's another essential component in this process, something I like to call the goal-why connection. Why do you want to achieve these goals? What's the driving force behind them? Your why is your North Star, your intrinsic motivation that propels you forward, especially when obstacles loom. So, when studying the successful, go beyond the surface achievements. Look at the goals they set and why those goals were essential to them. The inventor's goal was to secure patents because she knew it would protect her ideas and ultimately make her business thrive. That was her why. Once you have your goals in place and you're connected with your why, it becomes easier to tackle them with the right attitude and a well-defined process. You're no longer drifting. You're steering your ship towards your dreams. So, dear listener, let's remember that dreams may be the stars, but goals are the constellations that guide us to them. In the next chapter, we'll explore the pivotal role of attitude and how it can make or break your journey to success. Are you subscribed to our channel, Above Inspirations? Please subscribe and click the ring icon. Now let's continue as promised. When reading or listening to motivational stories, study the individual's goals. Ask a question. What did they want to accomplish? How reasonable were their goals? How attainable were they? When did they think of their goals? How did they decide upon those specific goals? Why not other goals? What was the purpose behind those goals? Why those goals? Why were those goals important to them? Why we do what we do, that's influenced by our talents and passions. Do any of their goals resonate with you? Are any of their goals your goals? Are any of their goals similar to yours? Any plan starts with a goal. You decide what outcome you want and create a plan on how to get there. So goal setting is the beginning of achieving your dreams. When reading motivational books, go beyond the person's sayings and focus on what the person wanted to achieve. What did she consider a win? What was the ideal outcome? Focus on the goals and everything that went into deciding upon them, shaping and molding them, and finally deciding, this is it. This is what I want, hell or high water. This is what I'm going to sacrifice for, take risks for, and stake my time and resources on. This is where it all begins. What was their plan? Goals without plans are just dreams. They're pleasant thoughts of what I may do someday when I have more time or energy or money or desire. Goals are the target. Without them, you never have a target to shoot at. But without a plan, you may have a target, but the odds of hitting it are low. To get from here and there, you need a map. Otherwise, you're wasting time, energy, and money. When reading about others' accomplishments, study what their plans were. After they defined their goals, what plan did they create for themselves to achieve them? Before starting a business, you develop a business plan. You spell out how your business is going to succeed. When you embark on a personal goal, being an effective trial lawyer, developing a book of business, becoming an author, or meeting a need in your community, you need to create a step-by-step plan on achieving that goal. Study others' plans. Sometimes they get lost in all the motivational quotes and sayings, because to be blunt, plans aren't sexy. They take time and hard work and a lot of thinking and talking through and revisions. They generally get little attention in the biopics, but they're there. If you look carefully, they're there. It usually involved a routine, something they did every day to get closer to their goals. It usually involved a mentor, someone to help them realize their goals. It usually involved planned setbacks. They knew they would face obstacles and planned on moving forward despite them. There was a road they laid out for themselves to get to the destination. Study those roads. You may need to take similar ones on the way to your destinations. What was their process? I'm a process person. I believe everything we do, take an effective deposition, learn to play an instrument, becoming a leader, can be reduced to a process that can be followed by others to achieve the same outcomes. All my books, including this one, presume that Goal X is simply made up a series of steps, and my objective is to define each and every step and explain how to do them. You do A, B, and C, and you will achieve Goal X. Whether it's teaching associates how to take a deposition, teaching firms how to implement an associate training program, or teaching you how to achieve your dreams, everything involves a process. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not. But when studying how others do what they do and how they do it well, look closely at all the barely visible steps that, when done together, achieve the goal. Henry Ford transformed the craft of making a car into a series of steps on an assembly line, turning a craft into a semi-skilled job. Be Henry Ford when looking at others' stories and spell out for yourself the steps they took. If you can identify all the steps in the correct order, you should be able to achieve similar results, assuming, of course, you have the skills and passion. More on that later. Don't seek motivation from others. Seek what can be reproduced. If you love inspirational stories, watch them, read them, and listen to them. I love them too, but don't seek motivation from them. Don't say to yourself, he did it, I can too. Don't memorize their quotes or sayings. The character Rocky Balboa gave some inspirational speeches in his 6+ movies, 7 including Creed. His inspirational speech to his son in Rocky Balboa has close to 10 million downloads. He tells his son life is hard. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. That life hits hard. Life hits all us hard. And what separates winners is their ability to get hit and keep getting hit and keep going. If you're familiar with the Rocky movies, you remember what a beating he took at the hands of Apollo Creed, Clubber Lang, and Ivan Drago, among others. He took hit after hit and overcame them, so the speech to his son is grounded in the character's own experience. Great story, great speech, but when you're questioning your goals and your plan, when you're wondering if you can fulfill the dreams you set out to achieve, are you going to be relying on Rocky Balboa to get you through? Comparisons may be made to the fees charged by life coaches, emphasizing what a great deal the program represents. Some individuals who attend these seminars may find them life-changing. However, I, for instance, have attended a few such events and found them to be time-consuming and costly, offering limited practical advice on defining and achieving my goals. Nevertheless, these programs are adept at delivering a compelling sales pitch. The market is flooded with numerous self-help books and programs. When exploring bookstores, I appreciate the process of perusing the aisles, examining book jackets, reading tables of contents, and skimming chapters. As an avid reader, I've delved into self-help, business, and leadership books. What I seek is a central idea that resonates with me and a corresponding plan for implementing that idea in my life. For example, a book may address the crucial question to ask oneself when faced with a life-altering decision, as seen in Ask It by Andy Stanley. Great self-help books present a simple yet powerful idea and subsequently expound upon it, explaining how to integrate it into your life. In just 5 minutes, you can determine if a book is worth reading by identifying its core idea. Often the idea alone is sufficient to capture your interest, and based on that idea, you can recognize whether the book has the potential to be beneficial. If you dedicate an additional 5 minutes to briefly exploring the book, you will grasp how to apply the idea to your life. The finest nonfiction books can be distilled in just 10 minutes. To encapsulate the essence of this book you're reading right now, consider these key points. Identify your talents and passions. The intersection of your talents and passions is where you'll discover your dreams. Pursuing your dreams essentially equates to pursuing your purpose. To achieve this, you need to follow a straightforward formula. 1. Define and implement a plan that capitalizes on your talents and passions. 2. Put in the hard work to realize your plan. If you do these things, you will attain your dreams. This formula isn't meant to serve as motivation. It's about providing actionable steps. It's not about convincing you that you have talents or encouraging passion, because you already possess these attributes. The formula focuses on the process. First, define terms, your talents, passions, and dreams. Then devise a plan that maximizes your talents, your skill set, and leverages your passions, personal motivators, to reach your goals, your dreams. Yes, it will be challenging and require effort and sacrifice, but it works. That's the essence of my book. When looking for other books, see if you can distill their key points into a few sentences to determine if they resonate with you. If they do, consider reading the book. Remember, you don't have to buy this one, it's freely available. Why do motivational pursuits often come with a high cost? You might be recommended a book, which then leads to more book recommendations, followed by DVDs and weekend conferences. It can feel like a substantial financial investment just to find motivation. However, if you're not motivated in the first place, spending money is unlikely to be the solution. Many individuals achieve their dreams without shelling out a small fortune to learn how to do it. This prompts a consideration of how historical figures like Abraham Lincoln might feel about being used by motivational speakers who charge thousands of dollars to recount their stories when you can find the same information in a book. Instead of committing to a seminar or hiring a life coach or personal guru, take the time to think deeply about your desires and formulate a plan. The process of figuring out what you genuinely want and creating a plan doesn't require a lavish 3-day seminar at a fancy resort. Why do we listen to motivational gurus? Are we seeking motivation, great ideas, or actionable plans? It's advisable to seek teachers rather than mere motivators. Listen to those who provide a clear process for reaching your goals, as opposed to those who serve primarily as cheerleaders. The people you follow should assist you in. What can we learn from that character? He always out-trained, outworked, and outsmarted his opponents. If you want to take anything from inspirational stories, take what you can reproduce, that is, outwork your competition, and apply it to your circumstances. You can replicate that. Replicating another's motivation is much more difficult to do. When you search for motivational speakers on Google, you're inundated with countless results. Likewise, if you type motivational speaker on LinkedIn, you'll find over 100,000 profiles. There is an abundance of motivational speakers, books, conferences, and speeches, all aiming to inspire you. They seek to motivate you to exercise, adopt a healthier diet, start a business, attain wealth, and take risks. Their message is a simple one. You can do it because they did it, and so can you. However, motivation derived from books and seminars tends to be short-lived. You might read a book and feel energized to pursue your dreams, but as life's challenges arise, the book is often forgotten. Similarly, after attending a seminar, you may jot down notes and plaster motivational quotes all over your space, but with time, these fade into the background. The question is, does hearing "you can do it" actually make it more likely that you will? Not necessarily. External motivators may work for some people, but not for everyone, and they often provide only temporary motivation. This might explain the enduring popularity of motivational speakers. Many of us require regular doses of external encouragement and belief from others to reach our goals. But if you can discover your role in this world, as we'll discuss later, you can cultivate an internal wellspring of motivation. This isn't about offering mere inspirational quotes. It's about recognizing the fundamental truth. As for inspirational stories, they are abundant. Motivational speakers often recount their journeys, starting with little or even less than nothing, and ultimately achieving success. Self-help books are replete with stories of famous and not-so-famous individuals who overcame incredible odds to realize their dreams. These stories emphasize that they are no better than you. You too can achieve your dreams. The common theme is that the only thing standing between you and your aspirations is yourself. You possess the capacity to succeed. The challenge lies in committing to the necessary actions. This commitment is the most demanding part of the journey, involving the allocation of time each day to make progress. Yet when you align your passions and skills, you will generate your own internal inspiration. Pursuing your dreams with a well-thought-out plan can render external motivation unnecessary. While there are aspects of life you might not enjoy, such as responding to discovery requests in the legal profession or maintaining a strict diet and exercise routine, you don't need someone to cheer you on. Instead, consider the consequences of not performing well in your job or neglecting your health. Moreover, inspirational quotes and sayings may not be universally effective. Some individuals, like myself, have difficulty memorizing quotes and struggle to recall them in relevant moments. Quotes are generally designed to provide the why behind an action, not the how. The motivation to act must come from within. Urgency, determination, and persistence are products of pursuing something you are passionate about. If you require external encouragement to perform a task, you may either be engaged in the wrong pursuit or approaching the right one in the wrong way. These quotes all come down to a fundamental principle: follow your passions and utilize your skills, work harder than others, and never give up. While not particularly flowery or inspirational, this is the essence of the message. Motivational speakers are indeed in high demand, frequently commanding substantial speaking fees. They often share their life stories and serve as inspirational figures. Some provide detailed plans for achieving goals, which is valuable. However, others primarily function as cheerleaders, offering motivational cliches that may not have a long-term impact. We invest in them to hear what we already know, that our dreams won't come true on their own. Achieving our aspirations requires wholehearted pursuit, and it is up to us to make our dreams a reality. If you follow motivational speakers on social media or visit their websites, you may encounter promotions for their upcoming events, typically seminars in a city near you that promise to help you achieve your dreams. While the seminar may have a regular price, X, these promotions often offer it at a discounted rate, Y. They might also include additional materials or resources, for example, Manual B, at no extra cost. Identifying your purpose, identifying your dreams, identifying your passions, identifying your talents, creating a plan that takes all these aspects into account, implementing that plan, staying committed to the plan. While belief in yourself and motivation are important, they don't necessarily come first. You don't automatically start with self-belief and external motivation, and then move on to formulating a plan. It's the other way around. Begin by evaluating yourself, recognizing your potential value to your family, organization, and the world. Develop a plan that capitalizes on your abilities and passions, and through this process, you'll become more confident and motivated. Motivation doesn't precede creating a plan. Your personal plan generates the motivation. As you see the potential of achieving significant and exciting things, you can't help but follow through. Seek writers and speakers who share this worldview. The journey toward your goals is rarely straightforward. The bigger your dreams, the more effort, resources, and time they demand. Success stories are relatively rare because they require vision, planning, hard work, and faith. Seek out individuals who guide you through this process, envisioning your goals, devising a plan to reach those goals, and putting that plan into action. There are various approaches to this process, so find the one that resonates with you. Perhaps my process aligns with your needs, or you might prefer another approach. Regardless of the method, remember that this is a process. Success doesn't just happen. You can't simply wish success into existence or recite positive affirmations every morning and expect your dreams to materialize. Believing in yourself, embracing risk, and learning from failure are crucial, but sometimes you need to experience even small successes to gain the confidence for larger accomplishments. This is where a well-structured plan with both short-term and long-term goals comes into play. A plan that allows you to achieve smaller successes and use them as stepping stones to larger ones. Seek books, speakers, leaders, and mentors who adopt this perspective, as they can provide valuable guidance. While it's commendable to seek assistance in defining your goals, creating plans, and implementing them, the act of waking up in the morning and following through with your plan is solely your responsibility. No one knows you better than you do. Understanding what motivates, frustrates, angers, frightens, and inspires you. You don't require external forces to drive you. You know your inner motivators better than anyone else. Perhaps some individuals need constant, sometimes hourly reminders from others that they can achieve their goals. But when you sit down and craft a life plan, you'll realize that you are the only one who can truly make your dreams come true. While others can show you the way by sharing how they achieved their goals, you are the one who must turn those dreams into reality. You need to learn how to motivate yourself. This often comes from realizing that taking daily steps toward your goal brings you closer to its achievement. If motivation doesn't naturally arise, reflect on what's missing. Why are you pursuing a particular goal? How does achieving it align with your purpose on this planet? Answering these significant questions can help you self-motivate. Generating your motivation is a distinct possibility when you set the right goal and follow an appropriate plan. Regardless of the size of your ultimate goals, they consist of smaller, more manageable goals. Celebrate each time you reach a short-term goal, whether it's a cozy movie night at home, a meal at your favorite restaurant, or a good book to read. Sometimes achieving these small, short-term goals provides all the motivation you need to start working toward the next set of objectives. But when you require additional motivation to stay on track, link a reward to your goals. Reward yourself with a new book, a night out, or a favorite movie on Netflix after your 10th time watching it. Accomplishing a small goal deserves a small reward, while achieving a significant one merits a larger reward. For instance, having an article published in a voluntary bar association e-newsletter may warrant a simple reward like a movie, but being appointed to a committee chair or an organization's board calls for a more substantial treat. Maintaining a journal can also serve as a motivational source. Get used to carrying a small journal that fits in your pocket, or you can use a journaling app on your phone if you prefer a digital approach. A journal allows you to track your progress toward various goals. When you flip through the pages from the past few weeks, it serves as a reminder of all you've accomplished and motivates you to stay on course. We often tend to be hard on ourselves for not achieving enough as quickly as we'd like. However, the journal, in black and white, helps you appreciate how far you've come and what you've already achieved. Success begets success, and accomplishments kindle the desire to achieve more. Each of us needs to be our primary source of inspiration. Life is too short, and there are too many things we wish to achieve to keep running back to books, seminars, CDs, or downloads for constant reinforcement. If you're a lawyer reading this book, you've already accomplished a great deal, from college and law school to passing the bar exam and landing a job. Reflect on these past achievements as you work toward new ones. If you face challenges or setbacks, remember that you have managed to get back up and continue moving forward. Regardless of whether you've won, lost, or drawn, you're still in the game, waking up every morning to face the day. Life hasn't defeated you. Focus on what you've done. If you've achieved it before, you can do it again. Even when confronted with different and greater challenges, you possess the talent, passions, and dreams. Identify where they intersect and create a well-thought-out plan to leverage them. Doing so should naturally boost your confidence and motivation. Remember, motivation isn't the precursor to creating a plan. It's the result of having a personal plan in place. Once you see all that you can achieve, including significant and exciting goals, you'll be compelled to take action. Seek out writers and speakers who share this perspective. In summary, the right goal and plan often generate their own motivation. Regardless of how lofty your ultimate goals are, they consist of smaller, more manageable goals that you can celebrate upon achievement. If you need more motivation, tie rewards to your goals. A journal can also be an invaluable tool for tracking your progress and reminding you of your accomplishments. Ultimately, you must be your primary source of inspiration, recognizing that the pursuit of your dreams is a personal endeavor. It's clear that reflecting on your childhood dreams, as well as your aspirations in college and beyond, is an important part of finding your true passions and direction in life. Writing down your dreams, as you've suggested, can indeed help make them more concrete and serve as a reference point for your future goals. This process of introspection can be incredibly valuable in helping you identify what you truly want in life, both in your legal career and beyond. It's about reconnecting with the hopes and dreams that you had as a child and young adult, and considering how they align with your current path. By identifying the common themes, interests, and passions that arise throughout your reflections, you can begin to set clear, actionable goals that will lead you towards a more fulfilling life. Whether it's excelling in your legal specialty, becoming a renowned speaker, starting a charity, or pursuing creative hobbies outside of your profession, these insights can be used to shape your future endeavors. Ultimately, this process is about taking the time to understand what you're truly passionate about, and then using that knowledge to motivate and drive your actions. It can lead to a more purposeful, fulfilling, and successful life, both in your legal career and in all aspects of your personal and professional life. It is vital identifying your passions and how they are closely linked to your dreams and life goals. It emphasizes that passion is the driving force that propels you out of bed earlier than most people, making you take on tasks that require dedication and hard work. The narrative underlines the need for passion in achieving your dreams, asserting that having a dream is insufficient without the fervor to turn that dream into a reality. It also suggests that working with existing passions is more likely to lead to success compared to developing entirely new ones. The story encourages self-reflection and poses questions to help you discover your passions, such as what excites you, what you do in your free time, and what you enjoy discussing with friends and family. By analyzing the reasons behind these activities, you can uncover your internal motivators and harness them to stay motivated in both your personal and professional life. In the end, the story advises you to write down your passions, study them, and find connections between them, ultimately allowing you to tap into your unique driving forces to work towards your dreams and life aspirations. I've often found myself pondering what I'm truly good at, what talents and abilities come naturally to me. It's not about the skills I've honed through years of practice. I'm more interested in those innate talents that have been with me since birth, lying dormant until the right moment to be awakened. I can recall several instances from my life, even as a child, when I excelled at certain things. Whether it was beating everyone at chess, effortlessly picking up the piano at the age of 9, or running faster than my peers on the middle school track team, these were the moments when I simply did things better than most others. Sure, I practiced and studied to improve, but at the core it was something that came naturally to me. I had an affinity for math, writing, storytelling, and leadership. Thinking back, I can also recall moments when my ego was somewhat oversized, and I thought I could excel at everything. Confidence, too, is a talent. The things I effortlessly did as a child and teenager, and still find second nature as an adult, are worth listing down. These talents weren't coincidences. I believe they were meant to be used for my benefit and the benefit of others. Squandering them would be a disservice. So it's important to identify and acknowledge these talents, both big and small, before fully utilizing them. Surprisingly, I've often failed to recognize my own talents, needing others to point them out to me. It's amazing how much of our own potential we overlook. Other people have occasionally complimented me for various skills. Perhaps it was my ability to argue emotion persuasively or deliver a captivating presentation. Sometimes it went beyond my professional skills, as I found compliments in my capacity to create consensus, prioritize effectively, or develop talent in others. It's when I consider what comes easily to me that I start to uncover more of my innate talents. For instance, I've noticed that I have an endless list of ideas for articles and books. When inspiration strikes, I can reduce these ideas to writing quickly and effortlessly. Writing, which some might consider a challenging task, comes naturally to me. This particular talent has significantly benefited my career as a lawyer. Another quirky talent I've realized is my ability to predict the ending of a movie within the first 15 minutes of watching it. I often find myself anticipating dialogues and plot twists. This might make me a terrible movie companion, as I can't help but whisper my predictions to my wife. Nonetheless, this seemingly trivial talent translates well into my profession because, as lawyers, we are essentially storytellers. Knowing the elements of a good story and intuitively understanding how it should unfold has enhanced my storytelling skills. I've also noticed that I have a gift for being intuitive, especially when it comes to my career. When asked to explain how I come up with certain solutions or ideas, I often find myself saying, "I don't know, it just came naturally." This intuition has been invaluable in my work, whether it's sizing up a problem and proposing a solution, communicating effectively, or writing persuasively with minimal preparation. So the lesson I've learned is that while it's essential to work on our weaknesses, it's equally important to identify and strengthen our strengths. These innate talents and skills are what set us apart from others, distinguishing us in our personal and professional pursuits. We all possess unique gifts, and recognizing and using them can be a significant asset in achieving our dreams and goals. I've often found myself gravitating towards my talents and striving to improve them. It's only natural. When we're good at something, enjoy doing it, and it brings us satisfaction, we tend to repeat those activities, honing our skills in the process. We play to our strengths because it's where we excel, and we find immense gratification in doing so. There's an innate drive within us to take what we're already good at and make it even better. This inherent competitiveness, the desire to be the best, pushes us to continually enhance our skills. In my case, I enjoy cross-examining witnesses during depositions and trials. I've dedicated myself to this aspect of my legal career and continually seek ways to improve my skills. Even though I'm already good at it, I'm not content with just being good. I aim to become great and eventually one of the best. It's the relentless pursuit of excellence that motivates us as lawyers. Identifying what we excel at is crucial in our profession. What we do best is often what we're known for in our respective workplaces. It's the reason we get selected to argue hearings, take depositions, meet with clients, speak at conferences, and lead discussions within our firms. Others recognize our strengths, and we should do the same. Awards and recognition are markers of our achievements and strengths. Looking back at my educational journey, I've received awards and accolades in various areas. Some of these have been for leadership, writing, and presentations. These awards point to the skills and talents I possess, and they speak volumes about my strengths. However, it's equally essential to acknowledge our weaknesses. As lawyers, we cannot afford blind spots or a lack of essential skills. Recognizing our weaknesses is the first step in addressing them. Some skills might require more effort to develop, but they are just as important as our strengths. We need a balance of skills and a willingness to work on our deficiencies. Additionally, there are certain activities we tend to avoid. It's crucial to identify these and understand why we steer clear of them. Whether it's fear, procrastination, or a lack of interest, knowing the reasons behind these aversions can guide us toward self-improvement. We often resist tasks that align with our weak skill sets, and understanding this resistance can help us determine whether we should invest time in developing those skills or focus on areas where we excel. In summary, it's essential to recognize our strengths, acknowledge our weaknesses, and understand our tendencies regarding tasks and activities. By doing so, we can maximize our talents, improve our skills, and ultimately make the most of our legal careers. As a lawyer, do you want to try a case, try more cases, try certain types of cases, win more cases at trial, argue before an appellate court, argue before the Supreme Court, become managing partner, head a practice group, start your own firm, lead a voluntary bar association, write a book for lawyers, write several, become a national go-to speaker, go beyond your legal career? What else do you want to accomplish? Do you want to become a leader for a charity, start your own charity, lead an organization, start a separate business, a restaurant, a legal support company, turn a hobby into a business, amateur photographer into a professional one, Turn a passion into a reality, becoming a high school coach, college referee, or start a sports league for lawyers. Both in your profession and beyond it, what are the bigger-than-life things you want to do? Start your own magazine, brew your own beer, do a documentary with your family. You've thought about this. Don't tell me you haven't. What are these things you've been thinking about? What one dream do you want to chase? Let's go beyond the big things you want to do. Let's look bigger. Let's put all our cards on the table. What one big dream do you have? How do you want to change the world? I ask that intentionally. Usually our big dreams aren't selfish. Yes, some of us have a dream of striking it rich. But for many of us, our big dream goes beyond amassing a lot of material goods. It's more than the big house or fancy car. I'm talking about chasing a game changer, what would be called in business as an industry disruptor. Maybe it's a product or process or an idea that is related to the legal field that will change how we provide legal services or train associates, or offer CLE or handle disputes between parties. Maybe it's more altruistic and it changes how we view, assist, and empower the forgotten members of our community, the homeless, the elderly, and the poor. This one big thing that will require all your imagination, heart, and effort to make a reality. This potential game changer that no one has thought of or has thought of but failed to conquer it. This one big thing you want to embrace, pursue, wrestle with, and subdue. That's your purpose. Affecting change for the benefit of many. That's a life filled and driven by purpose. I know I've asked you repeatedly to write whatever comes to mind down in your journal. But this takes time. This takes reflection and meditation. This one big idea has the potential to change the lives of so many. Something like this takes time to germinate in your mind and heart. Take that time. This one thing, if you make it a reality, may live on and be remembered for centuries. Purpose is where your dreams, passions, and talents intersect. This book can be reduced to the bold title above. If you are searching for your purpose, you will find it where your dreams, passions, and talents intersect. I cannot say this enough, so I will repeat it because it bears repeating. You will find your purpose in life where your dreams, passions, and talents intersect. Each of us is imbued with talents, dreams, and passions. It is not a coincidence that your talents, dreams, and passions overlap. It is not simply by chance that your passions need your talents or that your talents instruct your dreams. If we drew a Venn diagram here, and you drew 3 circles, that common area where your talents, passions, and dreams overlap, that's where your focus should be. That's where you expend your energies. That's where you will find joy and meaning and fulfillment. Go back through your journal and study the overlaps where you wrote about your dreams, talents, and passions. See what talents feed which passions. See what passions direct which dreams. You cannot take too much time to do this exercise. If you've been honest with yourself, if you've reflected and jotted down what's in your mind and heart, you will see the 3 pieces of the puzzle, dreams, passions, and talents, interlock, and everything will become clear to you, perhaps little by little, perhaps all at once, an epiphany of sorts, and you will see your purpose. This exercise is likely to create this aha moment, eureka. This is the career I should be pursuing. This is the legal field I should be tackling. This is how I should be raising my family. This is how I should be affecting change in my firm, my community, my voluntary bar association, my charity. Defining who you are and what you should be doing with your life, that's the precursor to changing you and everything around you for the better. Stay on this page. Reread it again and again. Read through your journal again and again. Where everything intersects, that's where you need to be. We all have a purpose. To find our purpose, we must start with the premise that we all have one. We all have a purpose on this earth. At any given moment, on any given day, we are where we are to impact someone else's life for the better. That's a big statement, and some of you will disregard it. But whether you believe it or not, whether you think our life is simply random, loaded with coincidences, I am here to tell you that you are here just as I am here to do more than make a living. We are meant to do more than get up in the morning, shower and brush our teeth and go to work, spend the day at work, come home, watch television and eat dinner, go to sleep and do the exact same thing the next day, the next week, the next decade. We were meant for more than going through the motions, more than simply earning a paycheck, more than following the best new television series, more than comparing notes about the vacation we just came back from or the next one we're planning. I don't care what you do, what you earn, what you have, what you're worth, what your parents did, or whether they were even around, where you grew up, or what schools you attended, or what you believe is holding you back from making big things happen in big ways. You have a purpose, and only you can determine what that purpose is, and only you can plan to make that purpose a reality, and only you can do the hard work to achieve that purpose. If you don't believe you have a purpose and I can't convince you otherwise, then you may as well put this book down. It's not for you. But if you want to give me and yourself the benefit of the doubt, keep reading, because you were meant to do great things. Don't lose sight of that. Believe it, because it's true. We all have a big, impactful purpose. Let's graduate from the truth that we all have a purpose to the truth that we all have a big, impactful purpose. Yes, not only do you have purpose, which is your life's mission to fulfill, but that purpose is no small, inconsequential one. We weren't meant to do little things to live lives, as Thoreau says, of quiet desperation. Think about your biggest ideas, your impossible goals, and your greatest desires. Assume you have no limitations, none as it applies to time, resources, and energy. You can do anything, pursue anything, make anything happen. What do? Become a premier trial lawyer, become the go-to lawyer in a practice field, become general counsel of a Fortune 100 company, create a process, product, or company that becomes a market disruptor and changes how we provide and pay for legal services, creating your pro bono clinic, creating programs that cater to those who most need legal services but are least able to pay for it. Maybe your big idea goes beyond the law. Maybe you have an idea for a new startup, new product, novel, nonfiction book, or something else entirely. Let your imagination wander, your dreams soar, and give this some thought and write down what comes to mind. You were meant to do something bigger than yourself. We all have a big, impactful purpose. Let's graduate from the truth that we all have a purpose to the truth that we all have a big, impactful purpose. Yes, not only do you have purpose, which is your life's mission to fulfill, but that purpose is no small, inconsequential one. We weren't meant to do little things to live lives, as Thoreau says, of quiet desperation. Think about your biggest ideas, your impossible goals, and your greatest desires. Assume you have no limitations, none as it applies to time, resources, and energy. You can do anything, pursue anything, make anything happen. What do? Become a premier trial lawyer, become the go-to lawyer in a practice field, become general counsel of a Fortune 100 company, create a process, product, or company that becomes a market disruptor and changes how we provide and pay for legal services, creating your pro bono clinic, creating programs that cater to those who most need legal services but are least able to pay for it. Maybe your big idea goes beyond the law. Maybe your big idea goes beyond the law. Maybe you have an idea for a new startup, new product, novel, nonfiction book, or something else entirely. Let your imagination wander, your dreams soar, and give this some thought and write down what comes to mind. You were meant to do something bigger than yourself. Our purpose will change others. Our purpose is inherently unselfish. Our purpose isn't directed towards self-aggrandizement. Our purpose isn't to finish the race with the most toys. If you're struggling with defining your purpose, appreciate that it involves raising others up, encouraging and empowering them, and improving their lives. You're serving your clients, your colleagues, your friends and family, and your community. We are all social creatures. We don't live on our own personal islands. We weren't meant to only advance our own self-interests. Musicians don't create music to simply listen to it themselves. They don't compose and perform simply for the money. They believe their music will improve others' lives, will connect with others, and affect them for the better. Those who just do it for the money, you can hear it in the music. There's nothing there to learn or experience or delve into. Whatever big thing you want to create, build, develop, lead, or grow, you will see that others and their needs will be the starting and ending point of the discussion. Amassing toys is for small people with small minds. Think bigger. Plotting your purpose. We will discuss later how to plan to achieve your purpose, but for now let me make the point that without a plan you will never achieve your life's purpose. You may discover what it is, you may have the talent and passion to pursue it, but without sitting down and developing a plan to achieve it, you never will. It would be akin to starting a business without a business plan or writing a book without an outline. Knowing what you want to accomplish, reducing your purpose and dreams to goals is necessary. You can't win if you haven't first defined what a win looks like. You can't achieve your dreams if you can't reduce those dreams to actual goals. For example, you want to become a fiction writer. What does that look like for you? Writing one novel, several, self-publishing, securing an agent, securing a multi-book contract with a publisher? What's your goal? So as you keep reading, I will be discussing writing out your goals and developing a plan to achieve them. Where many lose focus or interest is in the planning phase. Developing a plan takes time, patience, imagination, hard work, and some external guidance. But you'll get there. More on that later. Getting back to the gurus, do you wonder why you follow so many of them? There are so many motivational speakers on so many different platforms telling you how to be successful. You can search for them on Google, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, on radio, on television, on Amazon. The list is endless. They have books and plans and seminars and conferences all designed to help you do better. I've heard and seen and read my share of their advice. They're great storytellers. They're great speakers and, granted, great motivators. For some, their approach works. Many swear by them. But for those who haven't had a life-changing response listening to them, why keep chasing them? Perhaps they motivate you for a little while, but without going back to them over and over, you don't follow through. Perhaps something they say resonates with you, but life gets in the way, and you lose the impact of what they said, perhaps forgetting altogether what they said. Regularly going back to motivational speakers and writers for a monthly, weekly, or possibly even a daily fix of motivation is probably not the best use of your time and your money, considering how expensive some of these conferences and retreats are. What they say sounds great, and you want to go back to keep hearing it, but at some point, you need to move beyond external motivators to internal motivators. If these folks aren't helping you develop your own motivators, ever reliant on their motivational saying or speech of the day, then you're not growing toward achieving your life's purpose. If you're going the motivational speaker-writer route, do it in moderation and develop your own motivators to become less reliant on what others say to motivate you. Why have you read so many of their books? If you've read a lot of motivational books, you're not alone. So have I. I don't remember most of what I've read in them, mostly stories and anecdotes of others beating the odds, often later in their life, well after most of us would have thrown in the towel, and reaching the pinnacle in something, acting, music, business, athletics. So many stories of so many people with not enough talent, money, or connections achieving big dreams. The fact that others beat the odds is heartwarming, but doesn't get you very far when you are trying to do the same. You want all these books summarized in a sentence? Others did it, others who had less than you, and therefore you can do it too. You're not interested in the fact that others made it with less. You're interested in how they did. Invariably, they had a plan and pursued it wholeheartedly to achieve their goals. If you want to read motivational books, read books by other lawyers who made it to the top of their profession and explain how they did it. If you want to be a novelist, read how to books by successful novelists. If you want to lead an organization, read books by CEOs and coaches and religious leaders who have led companies, teams, and houses of worship, and read how they did it. If you love reading about the underdog, read about underdogs who pursued the same dreams you want to pursue and focus on their plan and their actions on achieving what they achieved. No one can tell you who you are other than you. The problem with chasing gurus is that only you know who you are. Only you can figure out what your purpose is. Only you can identify your talents and develop them. Only you can identify your passions and use them to motivate you. Only you know what will get you out of bed earlier, or get you to turn off the television or stop procrastinating. The purpose of this book is to have you reflect on you, study you, investigate you. The journaling aids you in figuring out what you should be doing with your life because only you can figure that out. You can get thoughts and advice from others, including family and friends, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide who you are and where you need to go and what you need to do to get there. Maybe you have issues to work out. If so, get help. Maybe you have addictions you struggle with. If so, get help. Maybe there are obstacles or challenges you need to tackle. If so, get help and tackle them. You need to work on you, and you need to figure you out, and you need to do the work to get from A to B, to get from where you are to where you want to be. Gurus can't help you with all this. That's on you. It's a journey you need to take. It's not easy, but it's necessary. You need to do this. Only you can figure out your dreams, passions, and talents. As you work your way through the exercises in this book, where you analyze your dreams, passions, and talents and write them down and reflect upon them, You realize that only you can figure out your role as a lawyer, as a spouse, as a parent, as a friend, and as a colleague. Only you can come to understand what you should do with your life and what tools and motivators you have to make it happen. Self-discovery begins with you, asking yourself a lot of personal questions, requiring honesty and self-critical analysis. Maybe you don't have the skill set you believe you have. Maybe you're not passionate about the work you're doing, and likely never will be. Maybe what you're destined to do requires risks you don't want to take. Perhaps you're afraid others will mock your dreams. The path we should take is not an easy one. It involves hard work, sacrifices, risks, and temporary failures. You may figure out what you should be doing and decide it's not worth doing. You may come to terms with your purpose and choose not to pursue it. These are decisions each of us has to make for ourselves, and only each of us can figure out the road we should follow and decide whether the sacrifices that come with it are worth it. We are all meant to do big things. It's up to each of us to discover what those big things are and commit to pursue them, or choose not to. There are consequences to not pursuing our purpose, never fulfilling our potential, but you don't need me to tell you that. Only you can plot a course to fulfill your dreams. Once you know where you have to go in life, you have to plot a course to get there. You can ask others for advice. You can read how others achieved similar dreams. You can seek all the input you want, but ultimately you get to decide how you're going to chase your dreams. You know you. If you're honest with yourself, you know what you can do, how to do it, and how to motivate yourself to do it. Each of us is unique. We each have had our set of successes and failures, joys and tragedies, accomplishments and missed opportunities, goals and dreams. There are billions of people on this earth, but there is only one you. Your road is different from everyone else's. Where you're going and what you're supposed to accomplish is different from everyone else. Only you were meant to live your dreams and fulfill your purpose. Only you can plot a course to get there. No one can tell you what to do with your life. No one has a right to. It's yours. Figure out what you should do with it and do it. Self-motivation. We need motivation to do the things we don't want to do. Each of us has things we prefer not to do, and we need motivation to do them. Some of us don't enjoy exercising. We haven't done it in a while or don't do it regularly. We seek out workout partners, group classes, and trainers to encourage and motivate us. Each of us has tasks or projects we would rather not do. If you're at a law firm or legal department where they're making the most of your talents and you're practicing in an area that you enjoy and find rewarding, you don't need motivation to go to work. Roll up your sleeves and tackle the tasks at hand. If this isn't your experience, then you need to explore what aspects of your job motivate you and spend more time focusing on those aspects. Maybe there are cases you're currently not handling that you would enjoy working on. Maybe a different practice group in the firm would be a better fit for both you and your firm. We do what we enjoy. We avoid what we don't. We don't need others to encourage us to do what we want. We need them to encourage us when we're at the wrong job or handling the wrong cases. I understand with the present economy and the legal market being what it is, sometimes we have to take jobs we would rather not take to pay students' loans and our other bills. But you must always be focused on seeking out work that aligns with your skills or passions. If you do, you won't need much, if any, external motivators. No one needs to tell us to do what we enjoy. The flip side of needing motivation to do the things we prefer not to is that we rarely need motivation to do the things we want to do. No one needs to tell us, go read that new bestseller you've been waiting to be released, or go write that article on that topic you love. The more motivation we need to do something, the less likely it is aligned with our talents, passions, and dreams. The less motivation we need, the more likely it is aligned with them. Seek out what you truly enjoy and you'll find less of a need, if any, to keep following motivators. At your job, chase the cases for which you have an aptitude and positive attitude. At your job, position yourself to work with the partners and practice groups who handle matters that highlight your talents and that you would enjoy tackling. It takes a lot of energy to make yourself do something you don't want to do. Why not direct that energy toward doing something you enjoy? The more you can direct your time, resources, and efforts to doing what you love, the less external motivators you'll need. The motivation will bubble up inside you like a wellspring. No one needs to light a fire under us to chase our dreams. We naturally want to chase our dreams and make them a reality. I think what stops most of us from doing so isn't a lack of motivation, but a lack of knowledge of how to do so. We hear that some dreamers don't have the work ethic and don't want to make the sacrifices to make their dreams a reality. That's true for some, but for many it's not a lack of will, but a lack of understanding how to transform their dreams into reality. Dreams have to be reduced to goals, and a plan must be developed to fulfill those goals. This process is foreign to many, and because it is, many dreams remain just that. Dreams. Motivation isn't the issue. Planning is the issue. If folks are given the tools to pursue their dreams, many will do so. Yes, some, even if given the tools to chase their dreams, won't. But for most of us, motivation isn't what is keeping us from chasing out dreams. Target your dreams and motivation will follow. Target someone else's dreams, someone else's life, and you'll never get your fill of external motivation. If you're chasing the gurus, you're seeking their help for the wrong things. If you're chasing gurus, ask yourself why. Is it for motivation? Do you need someone to kick your proverbial rear end to do something? Is it because you don't really want to do that something and need someone to push and cajole you into doing it? If you need someone to make you do something you don't want to do, should you really pursue it? Let's put exercise and dieting aside because, granted, many of us hate to do both, and simply because we hate it doesn't mean we should avoid doing them. We all need to get exercise and eat well, and I'll be the first to admit these things aren't easy to do, and motivation helps to do them. But let's move beyond maintaining our personal health and the obstacles to doing so. Let's talk about the dreams we want to accomplish. Having a healthy lifestyle is something we should all do, and unless you're training for a marathon or Mr. Universe, it's not a dream you're pursuing. For chasing and fulfilling our purpose, we don't need gurus to cheer us on. If you need them to help you keep in shape, I get it, but you likely don't need them to encourage you to chase your goals for your career, family, and community. If you want to follow them, see what they say about defining goals, devising a plan to pursue them, and implementing the plan. This process is something we can all use help with, and to the extent the gurus can help you with it, then yes, do chase them. Make sure you're seeking their help with the things you really need help with, and not motivation for chasing someone else's dreams. Start with your purpose, and motivation will follow for those who focus on the wrong goals for themselves. Motivation does not come easy. They are chasing a dream that is not theirs and need someone else's motivation to help them achieve it. There are many who actually achieve greatness, but achieve someone else's greatness, and are left to wonder how they got there. For those keeping up with the Joneses, for those chasing a shadow of the American dream heavy on accumulation and light on giving, those goals can be achieved, but the destination is not what was meant for them. But for those of us who start with our purpose, start by taking the time to reflect upon why we are here and what we are meant to do with the large and small moments of our life, crystallizing for ourselves what a life well lived looks like for us. The motivation soon follows. Discover your purpose and unleash your motivation. Embrace your purpose and you will find the time, energy, and resources to pursue it. Many of us chase after motivation first. Identify your purpose first and you won't have to seek out motivation. Lack of motivation is a strong indicator that you're chasing someone else's dreams. Are there any goals you're working towards now and have little, if any, motivation to pursue? Again, putting aside health-related goals, which we should all pursue and for which many of us lack motivation, are there career or life goals that you set for yourself and you've struggled to pursue them, struggled to find the energy or time or effort? Let's say you have a plan to become the go-to lawyer in a niche practice area. You start strong, but your interest soon fizzles out. You need to ask yourself whether you really thought through pursuing this practice area. Did you pursue it because you were excited about becoming an expert in that area, or did you do it because others were doing it? It was the new hot area, and why not jump on the train? And of course, from everything you've read and heard, it's so lucrative. So why not pursue it? There are attorneys who are a good fit for that practice area, but you may not be one of them, not because you're not smart or hard-working, but because you simply can't get excited about it. There are some attorneys meant to do insurance coverage. That may not include you. There are some attorneys meant to defend product liability cases. That may not be you. If you're pursuing a practice area for the wrong reasons, for reasons that have little or nothing to do with your talents and passions, you're probably not going to succeed, and even if you do, you're not likely to derive much pleasure from succeeding. If you need regular motivation to chase your dreams, you may be chasing someone else's. Study your list of passions. They are motivators. They will get you off your butt, they will help you focus, and they will be the engine that drives you. Do you love being a mentor? You can mentor other lawyers or law students and use your passion not only to help them but to build your brand as someone who understands the practice of law and can teach others about it, and in doing so, is well suited to represent clients who knows how to serve their needs. You love being the center of attention, love having the spotlight on you, but you don't get to try many, if any, cases, with fewer and fewer trials. That's true for most litigators these days, where you get to shine and be in the middle of it all. How about public speaking? More to the point, speaking on issues relevant to your practice area, where other attorneys who can refer you cases can listen to you and see for themselves that you're a go-to lawyer who can handle their matters. Passions can open our eyes to opportunities that others don't see. You love writing science fiction. How can you direct that passion in your legal practice? Where the practice of law is going and what it will look like a few years from now, even a few months from now, sounds a lot like sci-fi. What if you blogged about existing and coming legal trends and interspersed science fiction vignettes into your discussion about the evolution of the practice and how companies and firms can prepare for it and better use existing and upcoming technology? You can exploit your passion for writing science fiction where storytelling and the future of the practice intersect. There is even a name for such folks. They're called legal futurists, and they're in high demand both for speaking, engagements, where you can meet and develop relationships with referral sources, and for writing. And if this example seems too far-fetched, let me tell you that I love writing science fiction and had some of my short stories published in legal publications, and one of my future projects is a book about where science fiction and the law have and will intersect. Play to your passions and let them motivate you. Let your dreams motivate you. Just as you should let your passions motivate you, let your dreams motivate you. Go through your list of dreams you jotted down and how they've evolved since you were a child. What dreams are you still hanging on to, and which ones had you forgotten about or ignored and want to revive? Doing something big, creating something of your own, starting over, making a splash. That's exciting. Those sort of things keep your mind moving and your heart pumping. You don't need coffee to pursue your dreams. The adrenaline is built into them. Think about how excited you get thinking or talking about them, planning to achieve them, working toward them. If you identify your dreams, and you are certain they are yours and not someone else's, and that by pursuing them you're pursuing your purpose, then you won't need external motivators to chase them down. Dreams are inherently inspirational. Draw your inspiration and motivation from them. The values of a self-motivator. Once you know the goals you're aiming for, because you've sat down with your journal and jotted everything down and thought everything through, you'll be motivated to achieve them. When it comes to self-motivation, keep the following values at the forefront of your mind and everything you do. You're autonomous. You prefer to make your own plans and pursue them on your own terms. You're your own motivator. You're creative. You're focused on accomplishing the goals you set out for yourself, so when one door closes, you look for the nearest window. You believe in hard work. You understand identifying your goals and planning to achieve them is only the start. Executing that plan is hard work, and you're up for it. You don't accept no as an answer. You have an idea, you pitch it, you get turned down and you ask again, or you ask others, or you tweak your ask. Failure is not an option. You have character and integrity. You understand there are rules. You play within the confines of those rules and you make your living within those confines. And of course, you're responsible. You're responsible for yourself, your job, and your family. You don't blame others or situations when things go awry. You don't blame others for your failures, and you don't put your success in others' hands. You don't need someone else to tell you what to do, what to think, or what to pursue. You're responsible for your own life, and you direct it where it should go. This is what it takes, and these are the values that will sustain you. Hold on to them. You will need them. The paradigm of a self-motivator. How you see the world affects how you interact with it. If your paradigm is that you need others to motivate you, then you're dependent on them. You can't accomplish anything without them. If you need direction or advice, you're looking toward them.